God, you're testing me because I like this guy, you know, and I always told you, you know, if somebody reveals something to me and they're not the right person for me, I'll walk away. I'll let it go. I didn't do that in my last relationship. He told me that from the jump and I didn't care. I still wanted him. I still was talking to him. I still, you know what I mean? And wow, now I meet somebody that actually believes the same things I believe, values the same things I value, and he's telling me he needs a season of consecration. What the heck? Hey everyone, thanks for watching Living Purified. My name is Debbie and this is my online journaling to living a purified life with my mind, body, and spirit for Jesus Christ. I met 3 celibate men and I really want to talk about, you know, my different experiences with all 3 of them. And one is currently pending right now, so I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, it should be interesting. The Metro guy, the medicine man, and the architect, and they both were very interesting in all different periods of my celibacy walk. It was really hard to meet guys, I'm not gonna lie, that meet men that were about that life, understood it, and then maybe we can connect after that. So the Metro guy, it was something different. I just moved back to Maryland because my mother was sick. She was getting surgery. So I decided to leave Texas. I came up here and I said, you know, it's just time for me to be. So I got a job on Capitol Hill and it was great. And, you know, I was taking the Metro to DC and whatever. And just one day, like my second day on the job, I'll never forget this day. And I was sitting and the Metro was like crowded. And it was something that was drawing me to this guy. And I felt his spirit even before. I know this sounds so crazy, but it's true. I felt his presence even before he sat next to me. Because there was somebody sitting next to me before. But there was something about him that was different. The seat opened up. He ended up sitting next to me. I'm over here like, who's this guy? And I tilt down, I'm being nosy, and I realize that he's reading the Bible app. And I'm like, this is interesting. So I'm like, I wonder what the heck. And I'm like thinking to myself, I'm thinking in my head, Debbie, don't say anything. Because normally I'll be like, oh, hey, or how you doing, or whatever. And I said, don't say anything. If it's meant for us to talk, he'll say something. So what happened was the train bumped and I ended up bumping, we both bumped into each other and he was like, you know, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then he was like, I'm sorry. So that was the way we talked. So I found out that he had a ministry on YouTube as well. And, you know, he was really serious about his faith. And I was like, that's pretty cool. He was wondering like whether or not he was like our connection, even the day that we met, I felt your spirit too. And I was like, what? You felt it too? So he did too. And so, you know, he said to me like, he doesn't know if I would be a counterfeit to him. And I was like, what? And I've never heard of the term counterfeit before. I was oblivious to that. And I was just like, what the heck is that? And so I'm over here Googling, looking up stuff. And, you know, counterfeit is like, are you the right person for me? Or, you know, who sent you? Was it, you know, like he was very in touch with like that. And so I was like, okay. So he said, you know, I love talking to you and stuff like that, but let's take some time and, you know, because I mean, I'm really liking you, but I don't want to like get attached and, you know, all of that. And I don't know what's going on. And I was stunned. I was like, okay, so we like each other, but you're wanting to take a step back. No, it was a dream that I had, and it confirmed everything. That, yeah, God was in the middle of us meeting. That was not by chance. That, like, that needed to happen. You know, but he wasn't really initiating and, you know, conversating with me unless I did. And I noticed that, like, I'm very observant. And I was like, I wonder why that is. And he said to me, you know, I had a confirmation too that you're not a, you're not a counterfeit. You know, you seem like an amazing woman, but I need a season of consecration. That's what he says. And I'm like, okay. So he was like, you know, it seems like every time I meet somebody, I know I should be focusing on my single season, and I meet somebody and I'm like really excited about them, but I never give God that opportunity. So I just think that we should let this go for now. God, you're testing me because I like this guy, you know, and I always told you, you know, if somebody reveals something to me and they're not the right person for me, I'll walk away. I'll let it go. I didn't do that in my last relationship. He told me that from the jump and I didn't care. I still wanted him. I still was talking to him. I still, you know what I mean? And wow, now I meet somebody that actually believes the same things I believe, values the same things I value, and he's telling me he needs a season of consecration. What what the heck? This showed me that certain men of faith are committed to their walk. Even if they meet a woman that they like, or they may even possibly, you know, could get in a relationship with, if they know right now that's not the right thing for them, they will walk by it. Any man that's for me will pursue me. He'll meet me, and he won't have to like be going through seasons and all this stuff. I'm like, this can't be right. 6 months later, we ran into each other again. And I was like, whoa. And he approached me. He came up to me, and we met in November, and then all the way in April, he approached me, and I don't know where, I was just sitting there, and then he just walks up, and I'm like, I've been trying to get this man out of my head. I've been trying to focus on my new job. I've been trying to, you know, and here he goes, and he's like, and I'm so like blushing, and I'm like, whoa, 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 what the heck? So I was like, God, I prayed. I was like, yo, God, I love you, but if we are meant to be together, like, then let it happen again. Let us run into each other again. And then we run into each other again, and I'm like, hold on, what was that? What was that? We texted and DM'd, and, you know, he pretty much told me, you know, hey, I'm still in a season of consecration, but it was great seeing you. Maybe we'll run into each other again. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to run into you ever again in life. So what I did was I got a MARC train pass, and I never went back on the metro. We're not going to meet again. It's no hard feelings, but this is too much of a roller coaster for me, sweetheart. It's too much. So that was my metro celibate man. It just wasn't the right timing, but it was such a good lesson, because I was like, dang, why didn't that work? I was reading the book Wholeness by Teray Roberts, and the same story about, you know, waiting for God and listening to him, and, you know, waiting for discernment was powerful, because I was reading it for my small group, and I was reading it on the metro, and that was after we met and we decided to stop talking. And some of the story about how he met his wife, and how he felt like he was in a season where he had to take back his heart, and they weren't talking, but then he got confirmation that that was his wife and that he should be talking to her, you know, and it was aching in my heart, because I was like, Dad, what is going on? Why am I reading a story that feels so familiar? What is going on? So it was just really eye-opening. That was the first celibate man that I ever talked to. We never went on an actual date. That's the crazy part. We only talked on the phone, and we only saw each other in the metro. That was it. Like, I've never seen him outside of the metro, ever. But thanks again for watching Live and Purified. I will see you next time.